Many of you already know this, but so many folks are drowning under the weight of credit card debt as the number of accounts with delinquent balances has more than doubled since 2021. A report from the Philadelphia Federal Reserve also shows a record high number of people are only paying the minimum monthly payment on their credit card bills. It's peaked at nearly 11% of all accounts in the third quarter of 2024. You see it on that graph. And this comes as a new survey from Bankrate found that over half of Americans don't have enough savings to cover a $1,000 emergency expense. That's serious.
Listen, this credit card debt crisis is getting out of hand. Okay, so many people just cannot say no. They keep on using their credit cards and they're acting like they're good with credit cards, but they're not. The numbers don't lie. The numbers do not lie. A majority of people are not good with credit cards at all. So listen, there's nothing wrong with credit cards at all. If you're someone right now who's struggling with credit cards, I want you to understand this. You need to take your cards and put it away. Stop relying on your credit cards. You need to find out exactly why you keep on tapping into these credit cards. And they stated it already in their video, right? The number one issue, and I just recently did a video on this, that people are having is not building an emergency fund. You see, back in the days, people said this: having a credit card was there for emergencies. How many of us heard our parents say the credit card is only for emergencies, right? But that's not the case. That is extremely wrong. You should not rely on a credit card for emergencies. It's not what a credit card is for. You should rely on your emergency fund for emergencies, okay? Cash in your high yield savings account saved up. That right there is your emergency fund. But time and time again, people are just refusing to do that. And that's the biggest issue, man. We're seeing it time and time again. You need to build an emergency fund, not rely on a credit card for when things happen. You see, check this out. When you use your credit card for whatever you deem as an emergency, and you don't pay it off right away and you're having a balance, that amount is going to just pretty much double and triple if all you're doing is just paying the minimum payment, right? The rates right now, a lot of these credit cards are up to 29%. You're paying 29% on an item that you possibly pay like $100 for, $200 for. Now, in the end of the year, you spend almost $129 on that item. Like, you're not getting a deal as well. Because people use credit cards thinking, oh, it's a good deal, and I don't got the money on me now, so let me just use my card and I just pay it back when I get paid. But then when you get paid, you're like, I could just pay the minimum payments. People are just neglecting it. Right? Credit cards, man, is extremely toxic for a majority of people, especially for middle class people who want to try to live this rich life. It's not for you. Credit cards are not doing you any favors, especially if you're here running up credit card debt, right? And then you're here at the same time trying to invest in the market. You're getting eaten alive. Okay, if you invest in the S&P 500, a majority of your credit card debt, right, the interest that you're paying to the bank, it's being wiped away now from the money you're making from the market. The money you're making from the market is non-existent if you're walking around with credit card debt. You see, people need to really wisen up with this and build an emergency fund. It's not that difficult to build. You need time and you need patience, okay? Look at your budget now, see what you need to fix, see why you're continually tapping into a credit card debt. And for most people, they're going to discover that the credit cards that they're using is pretty much part of their lifestyle. They cannot afford the lifestyle they're having now, but they're using a credit card to support that lifestyle. So that's why looking at the debt, you could come down to realization, wait a minute, I don't have enough money to pay for my bills and my expenses because I'm relying on this credit card and I can't. Credit card has a limit. There's a cap to how much money you can use in your credit cards. But there is no cap and there is no limit to how much money you can earn, right? You could pick up a side hustle. You could do a bunch of things, guys, really, to try to get rid of that debt once and for all. Because you need to have that done if you want to build wealth. It's going to be impossible if you're walking around making Capital One rich, right? If you're walking around making Amex rich, you're making all these credit card companies rich instead of yourself. They're not doing you any favors, right? They're not doing you any favors whatsoever. Now, for some people, yes, the people who are good with credit cards, they're able to use it for mileages, they're able to get free hotels, cash back. Some people, man, they're really good at this and they know how to use the system to bend it to their advantage. Now, those people, they could do it. They have proven that they can do it, that they could pay it off. They could pay it off and manage credit the correct way. But the majority of people, as we're seeing time and time again, they're putting themselves into a crazy ass bind, man. And they really need to, really need to stop the nonsense with the credit cards. They really do.